Hey everybody, back with something very different for me. I'm not, this is a commission piece. It's not a piece that's in my collection. I'm not really a video game enthusiast, but from the high era of video games in the 80s and 90s, way back when there were arcades, and you went and you put your quarter in and you played a video game, there was a game called Dragon's Lair. Now, I remember the game. It was kind of a cartoon. And I remember you played the game until it sort of played out this story. You were a knight and you were trying to solve all these problems. And the goal was to rescue this girl, the princess. And this is a very interesting figure. This is Princess Daphne. I'm not sure who the sculptor is. I would give them credit because I think they did an exceptional job, having seen the cartoon animation and the cartoon work. Maybe I'll put a before and after, like a cartoon image of her up on my open card or closed card. Just look for that. The big thing about this is it's a really nicely sculpted 3D model. The beauty of modern 3D models is that you can do almost any subject. If you're a talented, gifted sculptor in 3D and can have some imagination and can reproduce characters and things that you've seen, then it's a really good way to, capture characters. And this one is no exception. Let's do some real quick stuff here though. I want to dedicate this work, the effort I did, to the primary artist that produced this character. His name, as I understand it, is Philo Barnhart. Now, Philo Barnhart may not be a big star to a lot of people, although I would guess the video game folks might know who he is. But he worked for Hanna-Barbera, the cartoon studio, Don Bluth Studios. I can see the Don Bluthness in this girl, having seen a few of those movies, and was a Disney designer and animator. His most famous works, I think, were Secret of NIMH for Don Bluth. That was a pretty big deal movie. The visual effects on Star Trek the Motion Picture, some of the animated stuff with V'ger and all that, that was done by Philo Barnhart, and I don't even think he got credit for it. And that's one of my favorite movies. It's definitely one of my favorite Star Trek movies. And anyway, movies you're probably more familiar with, a little more modern, The Black Cauldron, Little Mermaid, of course, which you can definitely see Little Mermaid type influences here. Beauty and the Beast was another one that he worked on. So he did a lot of major work, and his art is very, very reflected in this, and I want to dedicate the work I did to him, because in all honesty, I mean, you're only as good as the art that you're given to paint. And since this commission was given to me by a very enthusiastic fan of this character, he grew up having a crush on her, cartoon, little boy cartoon crush, and that's fine. I don't usually have cartoon crushes, so I can't really share that, but I can see why with this one. It sort of tears through the envelope of ultra femininity. I mean, yeah. If this is what you're rescuing from the dragon, I mean, look at her. She's got her little sexy outfit, her little gown, a little crown. I mean, it's very, especially for a young person, or even a teenager, it's a very, evocative fantasy image that is basic. It's very core. It's very, I mean, you got to get past this fantasy image to get to other, even more sophisticated fantasies. So I can see where this would appeal to a lot of young folks playing the video game. In this case, I didn't work alone. My wife, the Bon in LesBonArts, she hand sewed this material that the person who commissioned me sent along with the model. apparently the princess has this diaphanous, glittery robe thing, this gown thing, where you can see the glittery quality in it. And also her outfit has glitter and things on it. And that sort of adds to the model. And that was all very tricky to do. There was nothing easy about this model to paint. The base was basic stonework. You know, you had gold. I had different gold techniques to do that. The stone, which I painted red, is actually supposed to be purple in the video game. I did not know that, so that is an inaccuracy, but it reflects purple here and there. So, you know, give me some credit. I tried. And had I known, of course, I would have made it purple. But I'm pretty happy with the finish. There's lots and lots of layers on that. I hand paint everything. I do not airbrush. I do not airbrush. Nothing you see is airbrushed, from skin tone to hair. Everything I do is hand painted. And you can't see all of the paint like on her legs or everything, but it's all layers of hand painted work. Even the bag, which is, you know, all that hand painted. The stonework, I used like a toothbrush and did a spatter effect on the stones. You know, I mean, everything's hand painted. I do everything by hand. That way I'm controlling every ounce of what I'm doing. So let's look at her little crown there. I will admit the makeup and the face and all that, I did very much recognize the style of who did this. I mean, I've seen this comic character look before, so it was very familiar to me, and I was like, okay, I'm still working for me in a sort of an outside world. So this is not what I do. I don't paint cartoon characters by nature. But she was fun. It was a challenge. And Bonnie making this gown, she hand sewed the edges of this thing so that it wouldn't fray. And it took, I don't know, I remember it was days of her sewing this thing. It was really, and then figuring out how it was going to go on over a model that does not have, it has fixed arms and hands and everything. So, and then how the hair goes over it. By the way, you can go da-da-da-da, yay, the sword. You know, you can do that. The sword and the stone. I like that. Anyway, very nice model. Very, very cute. Very, very, very pretty, you know, feminine characteristics. Very nice. I had a good time painting it. And I hope it's satisfactory to the person who commissioned it. And again, I think it is a wonderful model to honor the man who, Philo Barnhart, the artist who was primarily responsible for this character. So this is Princess Daphne, who gets rescued at the end of Dragon's Lair, the video game. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll probably get a few dislikes on this one there for some reason. And I don't understand the cultural reasons on this. But whenever I've got an attractive female, I get negatives. So, sorry. Just, you know, I like painting pretty women, and I'm never going to apologize for that. And even if they're a cartoon. So, like or dislike, I'll probably get a lot of dislikes now. But I don't care. It's my life, my world, my abilities, and I'm going to paint what I want to paint. I agreed to paint this. I didn't turn it down. There are few I have, but this one I agreed to do, and I said okay, and so I'm showing it. And I'm quite proud of the finished work. So, again, we'll see you next time. It'll be something completely different. Take care.